Hey guys, Adam here again with another On the Couch. And the thing I did yesterday was I went to go see 2 movies in one day, so that's why these are going to be fairly early or being shot at the same time, sort of. Deliver Us from Evil. Now, out of the 3 movies this week, this is the movie I was looking forward to the most. I haven't seen Tammy yet, but hopefully this will still be better than that. Because this was a letdown. This really was. Deliver Us from Evil, like when I saw the trailer, it was scary. It scared the shit out of me. But this wasn't, and it was disappointing. Knowing that what we got in the trailer was just scenes spliced together to make one is really disappointing. It really is. The story is New York Police Department Sergeant Ralph Starchy, this is based on true events, is going through a murder case that involves demons. And he teams up with a priest played by Edgar Ramirez to look for the suspects, of these murders. And that's it. That's the story. It really is a bit of a letdown because it's directed by Scott Derrickson, who directed Sinister, which was a pretty scary movie. It really was. But here it's not. There's no sense of fear, dread, or even suspense in this movie. Not a single moment in this movie did I feel like, oh God, I want to get the shit scared out of me. Were there jump scares? Yeah, but that's pretty much it. I was kind of bored. I was really bored at this movie. Which is disappointing. Because again, it had a good trailer. It really did. But seeing this just really was disappointing. Let me just go ahead and get it out of the way. Again, I don't like Eric Bana. I'm not saying he's a bad actor. I'm not saying he's a shitty actor. It's just, he doesn't appeal to me, never has. I'm not saying that because of, and I'm not just saying that because of his role as Bruce Banner in the Hulk, in Ang Lee's Hulk. I'm saying that because I've seen other movies with him in it, and I just didn't like him in those movies. Again, I'm not saying he's a bad actor. He's not. There's just something, I just never found him. He's just not one of my favorites. I just don't really like him that much. Here, it applies again. I think the reason why I don't like him is just he's kind of bland. He's somewhat bland in a way. He's supposed to play this guy with some anger, with some serious rage, and he doesn't play it that way. He doesn't even play it as a guy who's trying to bottle it up. Except for one scene, but that's it. And it doesn't, and you're just supposed to, and he just kind of plays it cool for the rest of the movie. And it's not, you just find that really hard to believe. Olivia Munn plays his wife, And I love Olivia Moon. When she led Attack of the Show, that was when I knew the era of G4 as one of the greatest nerd channels on TV was dead. But here, she and Eric Bana really have no chemistry. I mean, granted, they don't spend a lot of time on screen together, but the scenes that they do, and yes, again, he's supposed to play a guy who's neglected his family for years because he's scared he's going to hurt them. Again, it's hard to believe. It really is. There is no chemistry between these two. I had a hard time believing that he even loves her. That is, and that's not him trying to pretend act like he's being neglectful. It's just really hard to believe that. They have no chemistry together. I don't hate this movie. It didn't piss me off or anything. I was just bored by it. So yeah, Joel McHale was in this, surprisingly. And boy is he fucking big. Like, he got fucking big in this movie. He plays, I'm gonna say he was a former Marine. Because, who's also an adrenaline junkie. He's also, Eric Bana's, partner in this movie. And he was a lot of fun. Walking around New York wearing a Boston Red Sox hat. That's their first conversation. It was like, is that a Boston? Are you wearing a Boston Red Sox hat? It's like, yeah. Why? I was like, I love it. I was like, you know, I'm gonna, you know, someone's gonna hang you by the balls, and I'm gonna laugh my fucking ass off. It's like, no, you laughing, please? It's like, no, I'm gonna laugh my fucking ass off. And you know what? That was probably the funniest thing that that Eric Bana has said for me. Just, especially with those, they have better chemistry together than Olivia Moon. And Joel McHale dies in this movie. Now, I'm not entirely sure if that's what happened in real life, because this is based on true events. I'm not sure. Because, believe me, there are elements in this movie where I just have to say bullshit on. But yeah, Joel McHale was funny. I liked Joel McHale. When he got killed off, I was sad. I'm like, God damn it! You got rid of one of the best characters in this movie. Oh God. And I say one of because there is a really good character in this movie. And that is the priest, played by Edgar Ramirez. He's really good in this movie. The priest is a good character. And he's not like a stereotypical priest that you see. It's like, oh man. No, this guy, he's like the typical priest you would see, that you would have seen like in the 90s. He's the hard-drinking, chain-smoking, kind of priest. Hell, he even like turns around and stares at a girl's ass at a bar. That is how awesome this guy is. This guy knows this guy has some fucking demons in him, and he knows it. He doesn't try to hide it. He accepts that he has sinned. He's a guy who accepts that he is not a perfect human being. He's a Catholic priest who has made a vow of celibacy, and he's aware of that, but he is also aware that he is a man who has demons, who has a dark past, because he was also a former drug addict. It was like there was a good line in the same scene where he stares at the girl's ass, and he's like, he's drinking whiskey and smoking a cigarette. It's like, and he's talking about how he used to be a drug addict and went to NA. It's like, all right, well, if you're a former drug addict, why are you smoking and drinking? I was like, and he goes, I went to NA, not AA. There's a difference. I was like, thank you, fucking thank you. There is a difference, people. There is a difference between the two. You don't have to stop doing one thing in order to keep yourself from doing the other. I mean, it would be a good idea, but that's not necessarily that's not necessarily the point. Or you don't necessarily have to. I just fucking love the priest. The priest was a badass. The priest is the one who really takes down the villains, because he's the exorcist in this movie. Again, like, and here's this is what made the movie. What made me from hating the movie was the characters, or at least the priest. The priest had a good story, had a very interesting story. If they make a sequel, I want to see it focused on him instead. Even if it is made up bullshit, I want to see it. The Starchy character, I didn't like Eric Bana, but I thought the character was fine. The character was written well enough. It was just played by Eric Bana, who I just don't find that interesting of an actor. The character was good. His story was fine. Again, Eric Bana just wasn't interesting. It just didn't make him that interesting. That's what this movie is, really. It's just characters. That's it. It was shot well enough too, though. While I didn't feel like tension or suspense or fear, it was still shot pretty well. It's shot like it was shot in the Bronx. Holy fuck! This is the dirty asshole of New York. The Bronx is indeed the dirty asshole of the Bronx of New York, and they don't hide it, because holy fuck. God. The villains are basically demon-possessed former soldiers who were in Iraq in 2010 when they stumbled upon a crypt. And whoever reads this this phrase on the wall is immediately possessed, and they get possessed. Or at least the first guy that does it gets possessed, and he possesses the others. And that's how the murder story happens. It's like just these three soldiers that are trying to open up a portal between our world and the demon world, and committing these horrible acts. Again, it's not scary, but it is shot well. It's shot very, very well. There is atmosphere to it. It's just not scary atmosphere. I'll say this though. Apparently, Scott Derrickson thought it was okay. I assume that Ralph Starchy put this in his book. I don't know, but whenever and this is a plot line, is that Ralph Starchy has a gift where he can sense, where he calls it his radar, but he can sense when evil is near. And the way he hears it is through static, children laughing, which is like the typical children laughing audio clip you hear in like a lot of things. And the Doors. They really play the Doors in this movie. Like a lot. This is their soundtrack. Is the songs from the Doors. They even played it during an exorcism scene. Oh my god, it was amazing. I mean, apparently, according to Officer Starchy, the connection with demon portals is the Doors. That is apparently the connection every single time. I call bullshit, but you know what? Any excuse to play the Doors is fine by me. It's perfectly fine by me, because I can never get enough of the Doors. I never will. Any fucking excuse to play the Doors is fine by me. I am perfectly okay with that. Starchy's daughter, I thought did a fine job playing just playing a little girl, like a little 6-year-old girl. Especially when she had a couple of cupcakes and she was just on a sugar rush. Holy fuck, she acted like she was on a sugar rush. And that was the scene where Eric Banner like just bursts out angry. I'm just like, fuck, okay, yeah, whatevs. But yeah, the biggest problem I had with it just wasn't scary. It just wasn't. I will say this, just to be slightly off topic. Scott Derrickson has been signed on to direct the Doctor Strange movie. Seeing this movie, while I didn't think it was great or good, it gives me hope that Marvel had picked the right guy for the job. Because when I think Doctor Strange, I do think of an exorcist. To me, he is the exorcist of the Marvel Universe. And seeing a character, and especially one who has demons of his own, the fact that they had a priest with demons of his own as well, makes me hopeful that this guy can do Doctor Strange faithfully. So yeah, I'm convinced Scott Derrickson can do a good job. If this was meant to say, hey, I can do a Doctor Strange movie, he fucking succeeded. He failed in making a scary movie, but he succeeded in showing that he can do a Doctor Strange movie. So I'm fine with that. Final score, I give Delivers from Evil a 5 out of 10. It didn't piss me off, but I didn't like it either. It was just kind of there. It's really just not a good movie, but there are elements of it that I did like. I was kind of hoping for something that would keep me on edge, and it just didn't. Throughout the entire movie, I was just leaning back on my chair. I'll be back with trailers in a little bit. Alright, so yeah. Dear White People. It's... I don't know what the fuck it is, but it's supposed to be a satire of the post-Obama age. Basically, what this trailer is showing is a group of young black people are complaining about the portrayal of black people in movies to a white guy in a ticket booth. That's it. Two ways this movie can go. Either it can satirize the portrayal of people who are sensitive to political incorrectness, or it can just be completely and utterly fucking racist. There's a fine line. I am not a fan of political correctness, but even I know when I have to be, or when I'm being insensitive, or just being a flat out asshole towards other people of a different nationality, race, whatever. I got Guardians of the Galaxy again. I also got The Purge Anarchy, which it's a new trailer, but it does feel like it's the same trailer, but they added more to the story, which is basically one of the rules you have to follow in The Purge is you can't be a hero. You just can't. You can't save anybody. There are no good people. It's all bad people for one night. All you have to do is commit crimes. You can't save a single person. You see a person in trouble, you don't do anything. Don't save that person. I got If I Stay, the Chloe Grace Moretz movie where she's in a car wreck and she ends up being in limbo and whatnot. I got Gone Girl. I want to see this movie because it's directed by David Fincher. One thing that kind of killed it for me though is Tyler Perry's in it. motherfucker. I also got Fury, which is Brad Pitt in a tank killing Nazis. I'm fucking sold on that alone. Anything to get Brad Pitt to kill Nazis again, I am perfectly fine with it. You got me sold on that shit. And last but not least, I got No Good Deed, which is Idris Elba is an escaped murderer who fakes a car accident and breaks into Taraji P. Henson's house and just terrorizes her and her daughter while her husband is away. That's pretty much the premise of this movie. And boy, am I terrified of Idris Elba in this movie. Idris Elba is fucking terrifying in this trailer. Holy fuck. But yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. Nothing really else to talk about. But I'll be back in a couple of hours with Tammy. Until then, bye.